Hey, hello everybody. How's everyone doing? I'm J Pinkert. I'm a trader coach for yourtradingroom.com. I train prop traders and our membership with my methodologies, teach them, mentor them, and run a couple of swing trade programs there. That's where you could find me when I'm not here. So how's everyone doing? Take a quick poll in the room. How many people like the dollar after the performance this week? How many are still bearish the dollar? Give me a why if you're bullish the dollar. Give me a why if you're bearish the dollar. There's some dollar bears in here. Okay, let's take a look at the dollar. I came in looking for the dollar to rally this week. I am looking for a major bottom in the dollar. I still can't rule out one stop hunt. People know me and my trading methodology, that my philosophy is markets will shake out as many participants as possible before the move they're looking for happens, most likely without them. So where are the stops here? You think there are a few stops under 73.50 here and here and here? You think there are any stops down here? Can't rule out that the bottom's in, but actually I believe that because we've already come down quite dramatically in the British pound and euro, that there's a possibility that they could engineer one more dollar decline to shake out the longs and trade perhaps a 72.5 handle. How I come up with that is I look at this first break that we had from here to here, and the high was 77.17, low 499. So let's just take 217 if today's high is it, and that gives us 72.70, which would be somewhere down here, would shake out every last dollar bull. Then I think what happens is the RSI does not confirm this low. Okay. And that may be the final push, that this is one big wave 4, and we're going to resolve this with one more thrust to the downside, and then I'm looking for a big bull market. Why is that? They took out stops up here from dollar bulls, right? The bears got stopped out before this happened. Why can't we go down here, stop out the bulls before we get a major move? So that's my view on it. There's a couple of things that may support that. S&P's had a pretty negative day. Everyone see the S&P chart? Well, I don't know what you... Okay. It doesn't sound to me like you've been waiting. It sounds to me like you've been trading. Is that true, Archiga? possible ABC, and the bears would say that we're rolling over and should capitulate, and you would think that would the dollar rally would continue. But if we're not through going up yet and say we still want this 1250 area, we could pull back and then push up towards 1250, and that might be enough of a window for the dollar to break down. All you need is 2 bad days, right? And you're there. Just a quick look at treasuries. Looks like what's one of my favorite formations that I've taught in here many times. We have 1 drive, 2 drive. What's missing here on this chart? That's right. So maybe one more push up in the bonds. That would argue for another low in the U.S. dollar yen as well. So last week, Archiga, we talked about a pullback in the yen and to that 7,740 area. That's where it went to. Okay. Just take a quick look at gold, the universal asset that people love. There's no fundamental reason why it should go down. But this could be a failing rally in the gold here. We could end up taking out this low and trading down into this level. So bonds look like one more high. Gold looks like it's peaking to at least have some type of ABC correction. Okay, so I'm not constructive. 3 drives. You could have that in gold too if we went up to new highs, but the treasuries look classic though. You have your first drive, your second drive, and normally it's 3 drives to complete. And it would end up being perhaps your second or third non-confirmation in treasuries. Okay, Fib? And you have those formations that happen at bottoms too. You could Google it. It repeats on all time frames. Harmonic law of nature. Okay. Like your name. Okay, let's get to the individual pairs now. Start off with USD CAD. USD CAD had a very anemic response to a strong dollar this week. We took out most of the bulls under 97.5. That's where a lot of people had stops. It's trying to bottom here. I think there's at least one more new low. But on an intermediate term basis, I'm going to be very interested to see if the dollar does break down to my target. I believe that perhaps Canada pulls back into this 96.50 to 95.70 zone and is going to put in a higher low. So the dollar could go to new lows, and I don't believe Canada is going to confirm that. Okay? Can everyone see that chart? So if I brought, we were on the verge, right, of the dollar index breaking down. Why isn't USD CAD down here? So in fact, it's corrected very little. And it's going to start looking pretty good on closes back over 98. So tomorrow could be a key day here as well. as well as the Aussie. That's diverging all over the place. Okay? So my take is intermediate term bullish, short term, only Nostradamus knows how the market's going to react to the NFP tomorrow. Even he, I don't think, could call this. But I favor longs either on closes over 98, right now it's neutral, or if the dollar does break down, probably in this 96.50 range to 95.70 range. This was a 600 pip rally, so I think from wherever the low comes in, we get between 600 pips to 1,000 pips to the upside there. Any questions on this? On USD CAD? Okay. Anyone that was here last week knew I was bearish the British pound. I talked about the weekly wedge first, which we broke down in June and retested it. And then I showed a wedge within a wedge, and that's on the daily, which it broke down out of. I've redrawn a wedge line because I suspect if we are going to have that breakdown, that there could be one more rally attempt in cable. Under these lows, forget it. We'll see 158 in a heartbeat. Longer term, I'm not only looking for these lows to be taken out, I'm looking for these to be tested, eventually taken out, and eventually these lows to be taken out. So pretty negative on the British pound. Would welcome one more rally attempt, perhaps back to the 64 level or so. If the dollar gets cracked and we break down out of that 4-month sideways consolidation we were talking about, that I was showing you in the dollar index. So this has an ugly look to me. Hoping we get one more push up here to sell this market. Next time through, 158 and 153. I'm very negative on this. So let's hope the dollar cracks, the index cracks, and we get some type of lift off here in the British pound. But this top is just beginning. And there may not be a rally. I know what I'll do if there is one. Any questions on the British pound? Anyone bullish the British pound in here? Anyone care about the British pound in here? A former reserve currency? See, this is how I interpret what's happening here in the major media. And let me ask you guys, do you ever read anything dollar positive in the financial press? Or are you, like I am, inundated with articles about the death of the dollar, the end of the dollar having its reserve status, Russia, China, talking about taking payments in oil in their own currencies. So I think that there's a possibility the most unexpected event would be maybe one more washout in the dollar and then a bull market in the dollar that turns into a multi-month advance. And then when the euro is trading 110, the same doomsayers who were ready to bury the dollar then become ready to bury the euro. Speaking of euro, This whole advance, the volume was pretty light. If we get this breakdown in the Dixie, maybe we have a chance to trade up towards 148, 149. You just tack on this decline on top of this high. But if the dollar's bottomed and they can't pull a rabbit out of the hat, then, we're headed back down towards this 137 level. So things are at a pretty critical juncture here. Either the dollar's turning good right here and everything else is turning bad, or there's one more hurrah for the risk trade. We should know in the next 48 hours of trading. Questions on Euro? Okay. Yen, we've had a nice bounce off this 76.40 level. Happened here early in the week. But with bonds looking like they can make a new high, it's still my contention that this pattern isn't complete to the downside, and I'm expecting another new low in US dollar yen. Definitely divergences beginning to develop. Non-confirmations here at new lows. So I think if there is one more low in the yen, I think it's going to be in the 75 handle range under this low, possibly upper 74s. I think this will be not just a low, but the low for a multi-month advance in the yen. Questions on the yen? Because there really aren't that many stops left, sell stops. Most of the stops are above the market now, right? They're here, they're here, they're here, they're here. So I'm looking for one more low in US dollar yen. Here's an interesting looking chart that short term looks negative here. Euro British pound. But if you get a little bit more macro on it, check this out. See this high that we recently pulled back from? 88.84 and a half. Right? 88.85 and a half. 88.84 and a half. So, I'm thinking that there might be some more weakness, maybe down to this 87.40 level to 87 level to put in some type of right shoulder. But the next time through this resistance, and you can write this number down, closing back above 88.85 gives you what type of measured move to the upside? Anyone want to hazard a guess? How do you figure out what the potential objective is on this potential formation? Fernando, you know. Kareem, you know. What would be the target on a breakout to the upside? Well, all you do is you measure the width of the formation. So you have 86.42. You have about 240 pips above here. Gives you 91.20, which would be above this high. And does anyone know I think there's potential for one more high in this pairing? I've discussed the difference between confirmed and non-confirmed highs for many months here at FX Street. So this was what kind of high up here with a 71 reading on the RSI? You're right. It was a confirmed high. So a confirmed high implies what? Correct. It implies the potential for another high, a retest that may not be confirmed. So I have this on my shopping list for a potential buy. I don't know if it means that just like this week, once we bottom and head up, that it's because the euro's going up more than the British pound, or euro holds up better on the decline than the British pound, like here. Any questions on this? Okay, let's look at the commodity currencies here. Okay, so we've retraced more than 61.8 of this decline here. Okay, so this is ripe for it being over. And if you trade Aussie, you're really going to want to pay attention to stock indexes, because the Aussie really correlates well with stock indexes. So we've had this ABC rally in the S&Ps, and we've had this ABC rally in Aussie. So if you believe the S&P rally is over and we're headed back towards the lows, you want to be looking for spots to short this. Here's your weekly chart. Although if we do have a big break in the dollar, you can't completely rule out one more new high, and we'd have what kind of top in the Aussie? What was that formation we talked about on the bonds? If we had one more high in Aussie. Because we already had a non-confirmation up here at 1010. So to me, the line in the sand's about 107.90, because that was a range that it trapped people with once it got above it, and then once it broke down, and now here we are, between here and 108, which is only 65 pips away. So that's going to be an area of interest for me, the 108 level. But then you go to Kiwi and you look at the daily, and we had a confirmed high at the high here in Kiwi, which tells me what? What does a confirmed high imply? Just want to make sure that you're getting this. Because if you could just learn a confirmed high, and I use RSI to confirm highs and lows, there's a message in it. Even though you had a heck of a break, right? What does a confirmed high mean? In all probability. It's okay, I could wait. Kareem? Fernando? Jeff? Viv, what does it imply, a confirmed high or a confirmed low? Right. It implies a potential new high or a potential new low. Because markets will rarely top long term with a confirmed high. Okay? So the same thing happened on the weekly here in Kiwi. Confirmed it. I'm not saying this won't be a failing rally. I'm playing it that way from now. But if the dollar gets going to the downside, there's a chance for one more high. This time the weekly won't confirm it in Kiwi. And I'm not even sure the daily will. But I'd also be alert for sell signals too, because this could abort at any time. And again, Kiwi is related to the S&Ps. It correlates very well. Any questions on the commodity currencies? And that's one of the reasons why, like Canada, is you've had Aussie retraced well over 61.8%, where Canada, up to this point, I don't believe has even retraced 50%. So between these two, what's between the Aussie as a sale and Canada as a buy, which is the preferred trade? Which one, even though they're negative correlated to each other, is implying more strength or the better position that'll be more patient? If your timing is imperfect, will be not as hard on you. So I prefer a market that retraces less than a market that retraces more, because this is showing strength and this is showing more strength than a typical correction. Can I get some wives in the room that you understand that correlation analysis and relative strength? Good. Okay, we'll wrap it up with the Swiss. We had that 1,000-point run up here. I now believe we're in a corrective mode and we're most likely headed towards the 76 level. I don't think we're going to see these lows again in Swiss. So this is on my shopping list for some type of buy in this range. And maybe this is another reason for, the dollar weakens and makes new lows, but Swiss does not make new lows. That would be another message. Because every time the dollar was making new lows, this pair was collapsing. So if the dollar index, the first chart I showed you, you see it trading at new lows and you see US dollar Swiss not confirming the new low, that's going to be a pretty good message. That all this last break in the dollar is just kind of a wash and rinse or a capitulation phase for the bear market in the dollar. What's your most valuable currency? Anyone? Come on, what is it? Your most valuable currency. That's right. I was missing some of your answers. Okay. Kareem, I make appearances in a few different trading rooms. Health and Love's good. Who learned something here today? Okay, what was it? Tell me what you guys learned. You're welcome, Fernando. Anyone else learn anything that made an impression on them that they're going to integrate into their... Okay, great. That's an important thing. Which implies what? And what do confirmed highs and lows imply? Right. Use the RSI to confirm it. It implies what, though, if you have a confirmed high? Good, Chris. It implies another one to come. Another one to come. So it's just my style RSI is a little more precise. Yes. Gato's got it. Yeah, US dollar yen, I think there's another low coming. I don't think this pattern's complete, and I showed the treasury market. Okay. So I'm looking for one more new low here. Take out these lows. Low 75 to mid 74 handle. if there's a breakdown in the Dixie, we could get one more push up to 147, 149 in euro. If the dollar is bottom, look out below. Then you're probably talking about 136, 135. And what was that, Gatto, 50 pips on GBP? As far as what? Oh, okay. Oh, so you bought it while we were talking about this here? Okay. Okay, well that's a nice testimonial. So you not only learned, you earned today, huh? Alright, take half off. Book half of your profits. You never go broke taking a profit. Take partial profits on the position as your mentor. If this is a job, we want to get paid every day. Okay. Congratulations. Okay, everybody, good hunting. I appreciate your attention. I hope this opened your eyes to a few things that perhaps you didn't see before we spent this half an hour together. Thank you, Matthias and Adinda, for moderating and recording it. You're welcome, Fib. Fernando, you're very welcome. Kareem, same to you. Lopez, all you guys. Everyone know where to find me? They have a proprietary trading program here, where if you move up to the top, you can trade a $3 million account. And I teach the prop traders. I work with them daily. I work with our other membership and help with swing trades. Okay? All right, adios, everyone. The best to you guys. Cheers. Adios.